Welcome to the podcast series, Small Business Survival Conversations. Through our weekly conversations, we hope to provide you with strategies and insights, knowledge and expertise to enlighten you as you work to build and grow your business.
I want you to picture this. You're scrolling through your phone at 11 p.m. at night, and you see an ad that promises you to help grow your business 10 times in 30 days with this one simple hack. Your fingers hovers over the link. You're too tired. You're too overwhelmed. And honestly, you're tempted. We've all been there. And today I'm going to tell you why that click might cost you more than you think. Good morning, small business warriors. Welcome to another episode of Monday Morning Motivation on the Small Business Survival Conversation podcast. I'm your host, Anna Steinfest. And if you're listening to this, you're already doing something right. You're investing in your Monday morning mindset. Today's episode is called The Easy Way That Became the Hard Way. And I want to start with the story, as usual, not about a lark like originally planned, but about something smaller, something we might overlook, a sparrow. Because sometimes the smallest creatures teach us the biggest lessons about what it really costs to take shortcuts. So there once was a sparrow who absolutely loved to sing. Every morning, she'd perch on her favorite branch and fill the air with the most beautiful melodies. But more than singing, this sparrow was proud of her ability to find food. She was resourceful, determined, and if I'm being honest, a little bit vain about her independence. One day, a farmer came walking by with the wooden box full of fat, juicy worms. The sparrow's stomach rumbled just looking at them. "Where are you going with all these worms?" she called down. The farmer looked up and smiled. "To the market to trade worms for feathers. I'm making a pillows for my wife." Now the sparrow looked down at her own beautiful feathers, glossy, perfectly arranged, and, well, she had plenty of them. Her mind started racing. She said, "I have many feathers. What if I trade you one for a worm? That way, you get what you need and I get an easy meal." The farmer shrugged. "Oh, that's fair enough." And just like that, the deal was made. One worm for one feather. Simple, right? Efficient. No digging through the leaves, no competing with other birds, no wasted time. The sparrow felt pretty clever. The next day, the farmer came back again. Same box, same offer, and the sparrow, remembering how easy yesterday had been, made the same trade. This went on for weeks. Every day, one feather for one worm. Every day, the sparrow congratulated herself on finding such a smart shortcut. Until one morning, she tried to fly to her favorite singing branch, and she couldn't. She looked down at herself and realized the horrible truth. She had no feathers left. She couldn't fly. Without flight, she couldn't reach the high places where she loved to sing. And worst of all, Winter was coming, and she couldn't survive without her feathers for warmth. What had felt like the smartest shortcut in the world had cost her everything that made her her. I know what you're thinking. Anna, that's a nice story, but what does this have to do with my business? Well, I'm here to tell you everything. Because this isn't the story for so many of us, but because isn't that the story for so many of us as entrepreneurs? We automate our customer service before we understand what our customers actually need. We copy our competitors' marketing strategy instead of building something authentically ours. We rush to outsource our finances before we've learned to read our own numbers. We trade away the very things that make our business unique: our personal touch, our deep understanding, our authentic voice for what feels like an easier path. And here's the kicker: the easy way almost always becomes the expensive way, the time wasting way, or the soul draining way. Let me give you another way to think about this. Have you ever tried to get rid of weeds in your garden? You've got two choices, right? You can take the lawnmower and just mow them down, all of them. It takes 5 minutes, looks great immediately, and you can pat yourself on the back for a job well done. Or, and this is the option nobody wants to choose, you can get on your hands and knees, dig into the dirt, and pull those weeds out of the roots. It's messy, it's time consuming. Your back hurts, your hands get dirty, and honestly, it doesn't look that much better when you're done. But here's what happens next: the mowed weeds, they're back in a week, stronger than ever, because you never touch the root system. And the ones you pulled by the roots, they're gone. They're really, really gone. And your garden looks beautiful. This is the choice we make every single day in our businesses. Surface level fixes that look good immediately, or deep, unglamorous work that creates lasting change. Most of us choose the lawnmower. And then we wonder why we keep fighting the same battles over and over again. I need to be honest with you. I've been the sparrow more times than I want to admit. Early in my business, I was so desperate to scale quickly that I hired a virtual assistant to handle my client communications before I'd even figured out my own process. I thought I was being smart, leveraging my time. Instead, I spent 3 months cleaning up miscommunications, rebuilding client relationships, and basically doing twice the work I would have done if I just handled it myself until I understood what worked. I traded away my direct connection with customers, which was actually my superpower, for what I thought was efficiency. I also tried to automate my social media posting before I understood what my audience actually wanted to hear from me. I used templates and schedulers and tried to hack my way to engagement. You know what happened? My engagement plummeted because authenticity my actual voice, my real thoughts, my genuine responses that can't be automated. I learned the hard way that you can't shortcut your way to things that matter most. So here is this week challenge, and I want you to really sit with this. First, I want you to identify one area where you've been choosing the shortcut. Just one. So maybe it's avoiding difficult conversations with clients or team members. Maybe letting bookkeeping pile up instead of understanding your numbers. Or maybe copying competitor prices instead of calculating your real costs. I want you to ask yourself this hard question. What is this shortcut actually costing me in the long run? Second, I want you to commit to the root work, not forever, just for this week. Choose one area and go deep. Get your hands dirty. Do the uncomfortable, unglamorous work that builds real foundations. If it's finances, sit down with your numbers. If it's marketing, I want you to write your own copy. If it's operations, I want you to document your actual process instead of winging it. And third, and this is crucial, I want you to celebrate the slow win. When you do the deep work and don't see immediate results, I want you to celebrate anyway, because you're building something real, something that will last. Share your comment with someone, text a friend, post it in our Facebook group, or email me directly. Make it real by making it public. Here's what I want you to remember. There are no shortcuts to anywhere worth going. The businesses that last, the entrepreneurs who thrive, the companies that change industries, they're not built on hacks and shortcuts. They're built on fundamentals, on doing the boring work consistently, on choosing the hard right over the easy wrong. You have something unique to offer to this world. I want you to remember your perspective, your experiences, your way of solving problems. These are your feathers. Don't trade them away for short-term convenience. Be the kind of entrepreneur who's willing to do the real work, not because it's easy, but because the real work builds real results. When that voice in your head whispers, there has to be an easier way, I want you to remember our sparrow friend. Sometimes the easier way costs us the very things that make us soar. I'm Anna Steinfest, and this week I encourage you to earn your growth. Don't trade away your feathers. If this episode resonates with you, share it with another entrepreneur who needs to hear it. And remember, we are building something real here, one Monday morning at a time. See you next Monday, Small Business Warriors. And now go do the deep work.
You've been listening to the Small Business Survival Conversation podcast. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. And don't forget to join us next week for another episode. In the meantime, hook up with us on our Facebook group at Small Business Survival Tools and Tips. Till next time, thank you for listening.